Boucher pleaded guilty to assaulting the senator last year. We'll keep you posted. All right, Brian.
All right, Steve, we've seen it again and again. Violence being waged on the streets from groups like Antifa, shouting down and even punching those with dissenting opinions.
Well, in the new book, Culture Jihad, How to Stop the Left from Killing a Nation, Todd Starnes sounds the alarm on the rise of the radical fringe groups and their push to fundamentally transform our nation.
All right, here with more behind the book out today is author Todd Starnes, host of Starnes Country on Fox Nation. Todd, congratulations.
Hey, thanks a lot, Brian.
So what prompted you to write it?
Well, look, after my last book came out, The Deplorables Guide, I noticed that there was a trend developing in the country with the rise of socialism. We've been wondering for many years now, why is it that the left has been so hell-bent on declaring war on religious liberty and taking God out of the public marketplace? And I realized after digging into all of this that for socialism to rise and really take root, they've got to get rid of religious liberty. They've got to take away the foundation of this country. And that's exactly what's happened. And I warned folks in Culture Jihad that once they start attacking religious liberty and chipping away at the foundation of the country, every single one of our other rights comes under attack, and that's exactly what's happening.
So obviously Culture Jihad, that is a stark name. Why did you choose that, particularly heading into 9/11 here?
Oh yeah, it's a provocative name for a provocative time in the country, quite frankly, and we've got to start talking about these issues. My hat is off to Dave Chappelle. He's actually talking about what we need to talk about in this country, the attacks on free speech, the attacks on our fundamental rights here. We're talking about efforts to destroy artwork that people find offensive, banning books like Little House on the Prairie and To Kill a Mockingbird. We're talking about, taking away monuments and paintings depicting our founding fathers. These are very precarious times for our country, and we've got to start that conversation.
So you think President Trump, even though he's not known, he's won over the white evangelical voter. He's not known as the most religious person personally, but you think he's done a lot to push back on this trend?
I believe this president has saved the nation. President Obama promised to fundamentally transform America, and he delivered on that campaign promise. And so President Trump has been undoing a lot of the damage that was done. He has stood up for religious liberty. He's a pro-life president, probably the most pro-life president we've had in American history. And he's done a great job of pushing back. And I write about this in the book, and we lay all of this out, including issues like Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, and you talk about how we're on the verge of a civil war. How bad is it?
It's pretty bad, especially when you look at the issues that divide us and look at the polling data. My concern is not what happens over the next 2 years. It's what's happening over the next 10 years. You see, our public school system is being used as the engine to drive this social change. When you look at the polling data, it's all there. Just a couple of weeks ago, you guys were talking about this on Fox and Friends. A majority of younger Americans, Generation Z, millennials, don't believe that religion and patriotism are all that important to their lives anymore. So we're seeing this shift happen really almost in a stealth way. And that's why I decided to write this book, is to put all the data together so that folks can see what's happening in their country and they can do something about it.
All right, Culture Jihad, it's out today. Todd Starnes, look forward to hearing you talk more about it on your radio show.
Thanks, Brian.
Coming up at noon.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, coming up straight ahead, there it is. Apple set to hold a big reveal.